Hey everyone, now that we have completed Q4 quarter of FY24, the result season has started. But before we wait for Q4 results, the export data has already been published for Q4. So this data would give a good picture for companies that have major business coming from export. It mainly includes companies from textile, pharma and chemical sector. Having said this, please note that this data does not represent a complete Q4 picture. It only represents the export data. So there might be a case where the export is 50-60% of company's overall business. So you need to figure out how much export constitute for overall business of the company. And please note that this data only shows the revenue part. Still, it gives a good idea on what you can expect in the coming results. In fact, right after this data was published, there's already a good movement in stocks. Alright, let's figure out the Q4 export performance of key companies across textile, pharma and chemical sector. So let's first start with the export data of textile sector. Within that, if you look at it, Indo count has done exceptionally well. Its export growth is 38.3% year on year. And in terms of absolute number, this data is at 11,237 million rupee, which is 1,123 crore rupee. So Indo count has done exceptionally well. By the way, I've already discussed Indo count in detail a few weeks ago when it was trading at around 300 rupee and currently it is trading at around 385. So already around 20-25% kind of return. Still, it is trading at a PE of 22.4, market cap is 7,600 crore. So looking quite attractive. But apart from Indo count, if you look at SP Apparel, Gokaldas Export, Raymond, the numbers are not very encouraging. Especially I track Gokaldas Export, where it is a flattish performance for export, which is minus 1.9%. In absolute number, it is 508 crore. SP Apparel again flattish 1%. Raymond is down minus 26%. So it seems that the inflation problem in US is not yet resolved and the retailers in US are still very cautious in terms of adding the inventory for garment. So this one is in the home textile segment and this one is in the garment textile, and that's where I think the garment space is not looking very encouraging at the moment. The expectation was that Q4 would be very encouraging, but the numbers suggest that Q4 is again flattish for the number. Of course, at the end of the day, we have to wait for the entire result, but this gives a good indication of what we can expect in Q4 number. Now, if you specifically look at Indo count performance, if you compare it with March 23 and December 23 number, so in March 23 its sales was 810 crore and for March 24 export is 1,123 crore. That's where the growth is 38%. By the way, more than 95% of the business of Indo count is from export. It's a very small portion of sales that comes from India. So clearly you can see that there's a very good number expected from Q4 for Indo count, and December is up by 57%. So that's a very encouraging number. Now, if you look at the pharma performance, there is a long list of companies. Some of you would be tracking a lot of these companies. So, for example, if you look at Wockhardt, its export data is up by 14.9% year on year. This is the value we are talking about, not the volume. Apart from this, Cadila has done well at 20.7% growth year on year. Then Lupin has done very well at 39.5% growth. Newland is reasonable at 15.8%. Then Markson has done exceptionally well at 64.3% growth. Kaplan Point is again very good at 19.1% growth. Apart from this, it's a flattish to negative performance. Aurobindo Pharma export are down 21%. Then Biocon export are down 57.8%. Then Granules India down 9.3%. Ipca Lab down 3.8%. Then Dr. Reddy down 22%. Sun Pharma exports are down 14.7%. Aarti Drug down 26.7%. And Gland Pharma is down 10.5%. So I hope you got a fair idea. It's a mix of performance for pharma space. Majority of companies export numbers are not very encouraging for Q4, except for few like Lupin and Markson that have outperformed big time. In fact, Cadila has also done very well. Now let us look at the chemical sector update. So unfortunately, I don't have access to all the data, but whatever I could access, I am sharing it with you all. If you look at Vishnu Chemical, it's been a flattish performance. IOL Chemical down by 33%. India Glycol again flattish performance. Navin Fluorine has been exceptional. Its sales are up 161.4%. So it's an exceptional performance. If you look at it in Q4 of FY23, its export was 58 crore and now it is 152 crore. So excellent performance. SRF is down by 27%. Its Q4 of 23 was 1669 and this time it is 1213 crore. Then Laurus Lab is showing here is basically into your pharma space, where its exports are down by 23.5%. The outperformance in this list is from Ami Organics and it's been a huge outperformance, 134.7% export value up, which was 115.9 crore in Q4 of FY23 and this quarter in Q4 of FY24 it's 272 crore. Again, this is one company that I have been tracking closely. I have discussed a couple of times on my YouTube channel. Tatva Chintan, if you look at it, is down by around 40%. So coming specifically to Ami Organics, if you look at the performance, by the way, Ami export contribution in FY23 was 50%. So I hope you will get a fair idea. It's not the overall sales. In FY23 especially, it was just 50%. So if you look at it, even the export data only for March 24 is 272 crore. Versus the entire March 23 data where sale was 186 crore. So as compared to entire March 23 quarter, it's up 46% and as compared to December, it's up by 63%. Please note that this is only export data. So hopefully the Q4 result would be exceptional for Ami Organic in this quarter. In fact, that is the reason it seems market has already, is expecting good number. And last 1 year, if you look at it, it's been, a lot of ups and downs, more of a flattish performance, touched high of around 1370 and then corrected around 25%. And recently, if you look at it in last 1 month, it's up by 17%. In last 1 week, it's up by 9%. On Friday, it was up by 5%. So currently trading at around 1273 rupee. And if you look at it, there's a very good outperformance, especially from these bottom, where it's up by around 25%. So this is an update from the export data, where specifically if you look at it, Ami has outperformed big time. Pharma is a very mix of ups and downs, some outperformance, some underperformance. And if you look at textile, Indocount, which we are tracking closely, has done very well. Gokaldas has been pretty flat. So overall, I hope you got a fair idea of the performance of these three sectors from these data points. Of course, at the end of the day, we have to wait for the Q4 result. But hopefully, this would give you a fair idea of what to expect. This is it for this video. I hope you'll find it useful. I'll see you next video. Till then, take care.